So I got a couple of, I got quite a few messages about owning my own truck while I was on vacation for the last 3 weeks. I know I've been off for a little while, but I've been sitting here trying to think how to put together a video talking about just owning your own truck. No, I released some videos on what to expect when you enter a lease purchase and a lease purchase agreement with a company. And doing that is absolutely different than just flat out owning your own truck, because some of the parameters change with how you operate with the company, and now how you operate with the company just owning your own truck. Some of those safety barriers have been removed. I think the message is pretty much the same. Let me get some more light in here. When you're in a lease purchase program, wherever it might be, and hear me out before you're listening to me and reading some of the nonsense comments from the anti-leased on troll brigade, god dang keyboard Rambos down in the comments. I think it's probably pretty much the same as far as the safety net for the driver goes. When you're in a lease purchase program, as far as the equipment, that company is going to help you out a hell of a lot more than if you just owned your own piece of equipment flat out. And what I mean by that is, you can rack up a negative escrow pretty quick that the company is keeping track of to do maintenance. Maybe, you leased into a truck that the company was selling that no longer has warranty, and there's some shop time that needs to happen on that commercial vehicle, and the company's going to flip the bill, and at some point in time they're going to expect you to start paying it back. But you can work out an agreement with them to hold off on payments or heavily reduce the payments, so you're still collecting a paycheck. I was there at one point in time. I'm leased to Nova Lines, which was a leased on carrier that I chose quite a few years back to get on board with. I really liked a lot of their attributes, characteristics, their pledge to their drivers, to their leased on drivers. And they do have a few company drivers that absolutely love running for them out of the Chicago office. Yeah, so, if you're thinking about leasing on, or maybe you're thinking about just buying your truck or whatever, there's a few avenues that you can take. And my truck's probably about to start. There's a few avenues that you can take. You could either save up the 25%, depending on where your credit score hits. Go to a bank or go to the dealership that will engage you with a bank to make that truck purchase. Or there's companies out there, there's mega carriers out there like Schneider. They do lease purchase programs outside their company that will allow you to buy that truck most of the time with a big balloon payment, and you can just take the truck wherever you want and lease on to another company. And then, like Nova Lines is a company that you can actually onboard with, and if they have a fleet of trucks out in their parking lot that you could choose a truck from, well, you go out there and find your truck and sign a contract as long as you're happy with that vehicle, and get on down the road. But it doesn't matter, because every single one of them roads leads to the same ending result: having your truck. If you are in financial distress, you got problems with your bank account, you're broke as all freaking get out, you're having to borrow money from people, just to make payments on cell phones, cars, rent, mortgage, whatever, yeah, you probably don't want to come over, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to be needing to get advances, from the company, and that's just going to end up drowning your paychecks out. Or you're going to come over and a small part of you is going to need a charitable contribution from the company to be able to forward you some money to help you out. That's no way at all to start your 1099 business, because it doesn't matter. Once you stick your pinky toe off into this industry and you're wanting to get your very own truck, you're going to be an entrepreneur right then and there. which means that your entire life is going to change from the way that you file the taxes to the way that you sit your ass in the seat of your 18-wheeler. The other thing is the drama at the house. You know, if you got a black cloud constantly hanging over your home because you got baby mama drama, you got wifey issues, you know, just family, kids, whatever, that's going to put a toll on you, because once you get out here and get into this game and you start owning your own truck and you get them wheels rolling and you know that they can't stop, because not only do you have to make payments on the truck and everything associated to that truck, and you got to make payments back at the house, your mental fortitude is going to be shooken. You know, you're going to get riled up. You're going to be that driver parked on the side of the road, probably screaming his voice out to whoever's on the other receiving end of that line, when your attention should be on the load, on the backside of your truck, getting it to the destination to get it delivered so you can get to the next destination and keep making that money for the rest of the week, month, and year. The other thing is depending on which end of the trucking industry that you're trying to get into, swinging doors, throwing crap on an open deck, step deck, whatever, dedicated. The trucking industry is so huge. It's very vast. You want to make sure that you have the proper amount of experience in that job field, if that's what you're trying to break out into. You don't hear this a lot, but like a company driver, if you screw up, you know, you might get fired, right? But in this industry, you're your own boss, so that means that you are financially liable 100% for anything and everything that you do wrong behind the wheel. So you messed that load up, you know, you didn't tarp it right, or you overcranked the strap and broke the load, fractured the load. Maybe you didn't do maintenance right on your truck, didn't do something right on your trailer. You get out there and roll the truck over, you hit a pole, take down a goddamn mailbox. Doesn't matter. Anything bad that could happen, right here, you are responsible financially, wholeheartedly, 100%. And don't think that you're going to be protected by some insurance. Even though insurance might cover some, you, sir, can still be liable, or ma'am. We all know once you start messing with that safety score, and we all know once you start climbing up in the points, it's almost game over. Only the crappy companies out there might blink an eye, bat an eye at you. It's like a ball and chain. Whether you want to look at that as good or you want to look at it as bad. But the truck and trailer, whether you get a truck and trailer combo or just the truck, it's a ball and chain. You can't take a vacation without thinking about that truck. You can't have a 34-hour reset without thinking about that truck. You can't go home for a few days without thinking about that truck, because something will always need to get done to that truck to keep that truck successful and reliable heading down the road. And pretty much the last thing, I'm going to wrap this up. This is a performance-based pay industry. Not all truck drivers were created equal, and everybody thinks that they're the best of the best. But this is a tough industry to be in. It really is. It's not for the weak or the faint of heart. God dang. Because if it was easy chasing this excellence, everybody would be doing it. And at some point in time, you're going to hear somebody that's going to knock on something that I mentioned, or maybe something that you've heard. And 9 times out of 10, that person stuck their pinky toe off into this industry and it crapped them out the backside. All because of one of the many things that I labeled here. You got to speak up. You got to hold your ground. You got to know when to fight. And you got to know when to roll. And if you invest off into this and you invest off properly, it's very rewarding at the end of the day. That was a mouthful right there. Do your due diligence. And I'm always here. I'm always watching them comments. At some point in time, I typically respond. I would think at least 99.99% of everything that's put down in the comment section. Wherever you're at, driver, keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up. Until next time.